Here is the 2024 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 Coupe 3LZ in torch red over jet black. This is supercar performance for Chevy. But is this the true sweet spot for performance slotting into the exotic line? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over the details of the Z06, what you're getting as a package, and the comparable rivals, starting in the front with LED headlights, daytime runnings that integrate into the scrape armor grille, going into the most aerodynamic Corvette to date. And you're still getting 5.3 inches of clearance. So if you're concerned about scraping the carbon fiber lip, you're not gonna have to worry, because we also have a lift, and the front will raise about 2 inches in less than 3 seconds at speeds up to 24 miles per hour. It also remembers 1,000 GPS locations to help with clearance, so you don't have to continuously push the button. And you'll have the front camera, which starts on the 2LZ, optimizing more storage in the front. You're gonna have a storage net with a 12-volt charger. But what makes this vehicle a lot more unique than anybody in its class is the performance that's coming out of this. It's a 5.5 liter V8 high output flat plane crank, producing 670 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, paired to an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. We have the red intake for the engine with the engine appearance package and the lighting, so you could show it off because it's a mid-engine. It's going to achieve 12 mpgs for the city, 21 mpgs for the highway, but that's no concern. The 0 to 60 is 2.6 seconds, which is faster than Porsche at $180,000 pricing. It's going to be faster than Maserati, and that's going to be over $200,000. And if you option a convertible, because this is a T-top, you're talking around $300,000 for that price. So you're seeing the value you're getting with this, because you could buy a his and her. We do have upgraded wheels. It's a staggered wheel setup. Spider design jet black wheels, 20-inch up front, 21-inch out back, with the Pilot Sport 4S tires, so it's going to be a little bit more sticky. Behind the tires with the red brake calipers, housing 6 pistons in the front, 4 pistons in the rear, and a carbon fiber lower splitter in the air intake for the side with the Z06 badging. And I like how they channel all of the aerodynamics, because when you're looking at the front, it literally channels through the side view mirror, and it will go into the engine for air, and it will also go around it to help with downforce. And the damping system will read the road at 10 to 15 milliseconds with performance traction control. Z06 rear spoiler with a composite splitter and rocker for the lower, quad exhaust tips in black. Now that's an extra charge with a digital rear view mirror right there, so it makes it a little bit easier, especially if you're optioning the 1LZ, because it doesn't have rear cross traffic alert that starts on the 2LZ. And adding the package that you're getting for the MSRP of this vehicle, you can see why it's truly one of the most special vehicles in class, because it's not only a supercar, but it still keeps the essence of a Corvette. Quick release, going into 12.6 cubic feet of storage. You'll receive another storage net, and it's actually pretty deep here. You have some bag holders, or you can put the net the other way as well. And the best part is you can see that mid-engine whenever you're opening the trunk. But we need to go inside, start it up, so you can hear that exhaust note. 12-way power seat adjustment for the driver and passenger. This is the GT2 seats, leather wrapped, heated, ventilated. Memory for the driver and passenger. Headroom and leg room. This is a driver focus supercar. It's going to start off with a leather interior that's going to be found throughout. We have the carbon fiber interior package, which will be on the steering wheel with a standard 12-inch infotainment screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio, Amazon Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot, dual climate control settings, and we have the cameras for the front and the rear, which starts on the GT2. You can also zoom in and zoom out, and you can change where you have the lines on or off. We also can raise the front suspension right here, and you can just simply push the camera for the front whenever you're driving to be engaged. The driver mode select is here with this leather palm holder. Everything changes. And this will also change the configuration of the heads-up display as well, with a standard digital rear view mirror and the micro suede inserts for the T-top. The wall will make it easy for the passenger to utilize the climate control, heated and ventilated seats, keeping it clean and simplified for the driver. And the storage here is not going to fit a lot. Here's the key fob for the Z06. But you have some USB ports, wireless charging pad starts on the GT2 with the Z06 badging, and you can see the engine from the interior. Leather wrap steering wheel standard, heated starts on the GT2, it's multi-function. And the gauge cluster can go through an array of information for the driver, including the performance for your 0 to 60, your audio sound system, different things for maintenance and whatnot. The door panel and dashboard integrated together. Bose Performance sound system with 14 speakers. Standard is a 10-speaker setup. The carbon fiber inlays, one touch up and down for the windows. It's obviously going to be more sporty, and we still receive storage for the door pocket. And for the passenger side, you'll still have a sufficient amount of leg room because you can kind of stretch it out. The wall does make it a little bit uncomfortable. I kind of wish there was a sleeve here, but this is the second best seat for performance. 670 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 2.6 seconds, and you have clearance and you have interior space, which is not normal for a supercar. That's why this also stands out of class, because it's not only the least expensive, but the fastest variant that can go against vehicles that are literally almost double the price. But you can actually drive this vehicle on a day in and day out, which it becomes a little bit more complicated when you get into the supercar world, because let's face it, if you go into a McLaren, it's going to be tight. Even moving the seats, it's hard to do so. But with the Corvette, you're not going to have that issue. Plus, it's wide. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the driver focus setup in the wall, but then in the same aspect, I do like that they at least carve out room for both of the front occupants, opposed to giving you a small, narrow seat. Because with these GT2 seats, I could drive this on a long drive, and I could take this on a track. So it's the best of both worlds. And because it's a coupe, you can also take the T-top off, which would make it a convertible, which also ticks my box. Turn radius to start off with is about 2 lanes. Let's give her a little go. Super responsive. The exhaust no filters in. You're not gonna really hear that much road noise because of the exhaust no filtering in. Putting it into tour. That's what I mean by an everyday drive. Like, you can just change it from sport, put it on track, and actually give the car a go. Road noise will filter in a little bit more so here because the exhaust is going to be a lot less. It feels very wide. I do like that we have the digital rear view mirror, which is standard, and when you go into the GT2 and up, you get the front and rear camera, and you can have the available lift on all trims, which makes it a little bit easier to maneuver in and out, but still 5.3 inches of clearance. Turn it into sport mode. She opens up good. It's gonna take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros is the value. I mean, the package, 670 horsepower is crazy amount. 0 to 60 faster than vehicles that's double its price nearly. Interior, you have actual storage. You have enough room for 2 people. You still have cargo. You don't feel every imperfection in the road. The cons have to start off with the wall. Because it's a Z06 and it's a little bit more unique, I kind of wish that they took the wall out just so it gave a little bit more space for the passenger. The seat setting to this is actually a pro because you sit higher up, which most exotic cars, you're going to be sitting lower to the ground. That's why the suspension and the quality of the ride is so much better here. But this is a vehicle that you want to open up and enjoy. Let's rock and roll. The exhaust note is a symphony to my ear, and if it's bothering anybody in the car because you're going to have one passenger, put it on touring, enjoy the 14 speakers through Bose that starts on the GT2. It's hard to complain about the total package that Chevy's giving because the Z06 goes a step above and beyond. It's keeping the iconic Corvette together, but it's going that extra step to supercar territory because you're getting a 0 to 60 at 2.6 seconds. But you're getting a smooth suspension for an everyday use vehicle, which none of those vehicles are going to even compete with this. And when you're pairing it with staggered step wheels, usually you're going to feel a lot of the imperfections, but the car stays smooth because of the magnetic ride control, which helps damper by 10 and 15 milliseconds, continuously reading the road to make it smoother or more performance driven. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Morgan Chevrolet for giving us this 2024 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 for our car review.